Check one, two, check one, two. Man, my lighting is messed up today. And y'all know me, I always got to wear black with the black background, knowing that I never show up. What's going down, y'all? It's Friday. Y'all know what it is. It is Circle Talk time. I'm really excited for today and having a conversation with today's guest. She has been in the streets doing her thing, been all over the radio waves. I actually met her probably about, I think it was probably before the pandemic. We met one time, and we actually were at the same place hanging out, and I was like, "You miss Tech Talk, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." And, she gave me a little attitude, which was all good. And, what I'm saying? Because who am I? She didn't know me from anyone else. But I seen her a lot of different places doing a lot of amazing things for a lot of great people. She's about the music, and y'all know me. I'm about that music. And so when it comes to sharing people that are doing great things for the people in the community, she actually fits the bill. I've watched her for years make noise. You guys can Google her and she will pop up. She's like that well known in the community. And I'm really excited to talk with Miss Tac Talk. So we're going to go ahead and bring her on in a minute. But before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors. Off the top, I got to say thank you for bringing my shirt by Marvin, iShotcha.com, guys. If anybody's looking for any pictures locally, in the Tacoma, Spanaway, Lakewood, Federal Way, wherever you're at in the Washington area, looking for some great pictures. He does weddings, he does graduation, he does headshots for your job, he does graduation photos, whatever the case may be. If you're looking for someone to get you done right, iShotcha.com, my guy Marvin, he'll make sure that you're taken care of. So hit him up. Also, Icon ENT, my guy Junior Thomas. Want to give a huge shout out for him for jumping on the ship and being a part of the Circle Talk movement. He decided he wanted to be a part of this, and so I'm excited for us to continue this journey together. For those that didn't hear about the All Black Party coming up October 23rd, it's going down. I will be there doing interviews for Circle Talk and also for the All Black Party event. So if you guys need any information pertaining to that event, you can hit up myself. You can hit up Junior Thomas. Also, just so you guys know, iShotcha.com will be there as well. So you guys, we're all working together because that's what this is about. We lift each other up and follow each other through the mud just to get to where we're going to get to. So let's go. Icon ENT and iShotcha.com. Those are your sponsors for today. Thank you guys so much for supporting Circle Talk. So without further ado, I don't want to keep this young lady waiting. We had a conversation last night pretty late. I was working some OT. She was working some OT. And so we want to go ahead and get this thing going. So welcome Miss Tac Talk to the building. Check 1, 2. Can you hear me? Am I still pretty quiet?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How's everybody doing on your side?
Oh, everybody is moving, and alive and breathing. And you know how it goes down, when you live with a house full of nobodies.
I do.
It's kind of
I
nice
do.
right now. The kiddos aren't here today, but hey, the weekend is right around the corner, and so this house will be flipped upside down here real soon.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Things
I
are
have a
good.
full household as well.
Yeah.
As people know, me and my sister live together, and we have. She has a 6-year-old, and that's my nephew, my best friend in the whole wide world.
Okay.
And yeah, he'll be here soon.
Right
Hopefully,
on,
he
right
don't
on.
walk through the door during the interview because it's going to be a mess.
Well, hey, I mean, obviously, spending time with the nephew is probably an amazing thing for you. You probably love it. And so I don't want to jump in between that. So let's get this interview on and pop it.
Absolutely.
How'd you sleep? Let's go there. I'm gonna go off the record. How'd you sleep? Because I know you worked the late one. I worked the late one.
Well, I did work a late one. For people who may not know, but I do work full time,
Mhm.
and I live in UP. I work at Applebee's as a bartender and server,
Right
and
on.
I work 5 days a week, and three of them are doubles.
Yeah.
Two of them are regular shifts. We're
Yeah.
understaffed. It's very
Yeah.
crazy, but it's
Yeah.
fun, and I meet a lot of people. So yeah, I get home, I go to sleep, but I wake up early every morning. I wake up around 5 or 6 o'clock every morning.
Right on. Which, well, I don't want to put. I don't want to put. We'll talk off the camera about which one you at, because I may want to stop through and say what's up. My daughter
Okay,
actually works at Applebee's, and I think Puyallup. She works at Applebee's in Puyallup, I think.
all
But
right.
shout out to my daughter Chantel. Anyways, so let's jump into it. Let me know. Let's talk a little bit about where you from, where it all started. Tell me a little bit about your home life.
Okay. Well, I live in Tacoma. I grew up when I was younger. I lived out in Sumner, but most of my life I've been on Hilltop.
Okay.
Grew up on Hilltop. Had my kids really young, and they're both grown and doing well now. And yeah, life is good. I
You got
started doing radio stuff. Well, actually, my whole family is from New York.
okay.
Everybody is from New York. And even though I didn't really grow up there at all, I spent a good amount of time there when I was in my teens. And in all honesty, I'm just New York to the heart. I love it.
Yeah.
But, I rep Tacoma. Everybody knows that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, that's the one thing that I was saying at the very beginning when we did meet. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
We was at the spot and throwing darts,
Yep,
and you was there with
absolutely.
your sister, and like I was like you tack talk, right, and you gave me this attitude like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah, because it's funny because I almost can't go anywhere without somebody knowing who I
Right.
am. So sometimes I'm just
Right.
like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to mind my business, just trying to have a day.
Yeah, man, you
But
in my purple
I'm glad we
circle.
got to meet. I'm glad we got to meet.
Yeah, and I knew what it was because your name is very well known
Yeah,
in the community. So I mean, I get it. I'm sure you get it all the time everywhere you
I do.
go. Someone's always trying to, yo,
People
can
are
I
like, hey,
talk to you? Yo, what's up?
I have a funny story. Me and my sister, we went to Chicago and
Yeah,
we went to this bar, and the DJ was like, "Are you Miss Tac Talk?"
yeah,
And I was like, "What the? How?
yeah.
How does
Google.
how do you know
I'm
me?" But
telling you, Google.
he ended up buying us drinks all night long. It was like
That's
it was
cool
we
though.
had a really good time. But I was all the way in Chicago. I'd never been to Chicago before. It was my first time there. And
Hey,
he was like, "Are you Miss Tac Talk?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like,
but
"I'm
see,
from
that's the
Tacoma."
thing though. The radio waves. You all over the radio waves. I mean, you've been in the game for a long time, right? How long you
I
been doing
have
it?
I started in 2007, and I was literally just dating somebody who did music. And
Mhm.
I didn't even when we first started dating, he didn't even tell me he did music.
Uh-huh.
He wanted me to know him for him, whatever, and that was fine. And then eventually I found out, and I was like, well, I'll post your stuff on my social medias.
Yeah.
And I did, and it ended up being a big thing. I ended up like interviewing him, and then his friends wanted me to interview them, and then it ended up being like this big thing that, I mean, podcasts, that wasn't even a thing then.
Right. Right.
But I ended up using a site online to interview people, and it blew up. It just blew up out of nowhere, and I started going from there, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was cool to be able to do that type of stuff and have people tell me their stories, and we would originally it was called So Drunk Saturday,
Uh-huh.
and me and my sister would drink, and then we would interview people, and it would be like almost like a bump it or dump it type thing, like
Yeah.
either you're good or you're bad, and we would
Yeah.
just go in on people, and it just blew up. It was just people were like, these two girls are just going in on local artists, and then I figured it out from there.
When did you because I know you had a different name before. When did you finally decide Track Talk Radio is what you were gonna go with.
Well, so I was given the name Miss TAC Talk because I would talk about everybody in the TAC.
Right.
But originally, like I said, it was called a different name. It was different. But then when I started, I got actually overwhelmed, and I didn't know if
Really?
I was going to stop doing it because I had no clue what I was doing in the first place.
Yeah.
And then I took a year off, and I co-hosted on another show. And I kept my name, but we called it Track Talk because I would just bring in like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 new songs, and we would talk about the tracks. So then we decided that's how it ended up being Track Talk, because it went from being So Drunk Saturday to me being on a different show, and we were just talking about the new tracks that I brought in that were coming out. And at that time, it was still just local. Now I'm worldwide, but I mean, it was just local at that time. And so it ended up being Track Talk Radio. When I came back into it, I really had to figure out what I was going to do. Like, how can I make this actually work for me? If I'm going to put this much time into something, how can I make it actually work for me? And that's when I started putting together the promotional packages and the mini tours, but that was pre-COVID. I haven't been able to do any tours or anything for almost 2 years, but so I just had to sit down and figure out what I was going to do with it. Either it was going to be a waste of my time, or I was going to do something with it. And I went ahead and decided to keep moving forward and actually make it work for artists, And so
have you always been about hip hop music? Or I mean, because it's majority of it is hip hop, right?
It is. I actually would like to go all genres, and I've tried, but because I've been always hip hop, when I reach out to people that do other genres, they feel like they don't fit in with what I'm doing. And so it's been hard to like mix it all in. I would like to do all genres because there's great music from all types of people.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, it's been, in essence, it's always been hip hop, rap, trap, R&B, and pop.
Interesting. I think, and this was probably a long time ago. I think I might have sent you a track probably in 2010 when you had way long time ago when I was doing music. The last album I produced, I think I may have sent you a track because I wanted to get on the show. I heard all about it from my friends, and I listened to it a couple times, and you had that juice, and I was like, yo, let me be a part of that.
Yeah.
I was definitely interested in what you were doing. And I seen you moving way back then, and you still pushing.
Yeah. So I am kind of probably going to go in a different direction here soon. I don't know. It's been a long journey. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've worked with a lot of people, a lot of great people, and made a lot of great connections.
Yeah.
But I think I'm pretty close to, I wouldn't say retiring, but I think I'm going to move in a different direction. So people should keep their eyes open for my next move, because I have some pretty good things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to keep the radio station, but I want it to basically be open to, we'll say it like this. Anybody can have a podcast on my radio station.
Yeah.
Anybody can use the platform. I have 5 spaces open for live shows. You can just do a live show. You can get on there and do whatever you want to do. And I don't care what kind of music you play or whatever.
Right.
But as far as, I think people have realized that I don't have a show anymore. I've stopped doing my own show. I stopped doing that probably 2 years ago, or maybe not quite 2 years, but I stopped doing my own show. I would like the radio station to be open for other people to use.
Yeah.
Other people to be able to kind of have that as a platform for whatever they're doing with their music or their direction that they're going in. I mean, obviously I'm still going to be overlooking everything,
Yeah.
but I think it's time for me to be more on the back end and just do things like that, and still have the platform for people. But I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of the digital marketing and stuff that I've been doing for all of these years. I mean, it's a lot to work with, and
Mhm.
it's a lot to do. And I do love people, and I do love the music, but I think it's time for me to just let kind of other people have that platform and be able
Mhm.
to expand on their own and be able to kind of promo for themselves and stuff like that. And I'll just promote the station
Yeah.
itself instead of like 20 artists.
Right, right. Let me ask you something pertaining to the journey. Um, this is obviously Bully Prevention Month, and this kind of ties into that just a tad bit. But
Okay.
during your time uh, going through this ordeal of being Miss Tac Talk, uh, doing your radio stations, promoting events coming up, or artists, local and national artists coming into the town. Have you dealt with any uncomfortable situations from people of uh, different races? Um,
I have dealt, yes. The answer is yes. And it's not so much different races.
right.
It's because I'm a woman.
Mm, mm,
So being a woman in this industry and owning a business and having a brand
mhm.
and being out in the like in the mix, like trying to support people, trying to go to shows, trying to be this, I've been a hoe. I've been sleeping with your man. Oh, I hugged your boyfriend. Like
Right.
I all these things, and I've had people in my inbox before, like, you know, and of course I'm not doing anything with any of these people. I do have a rule that I keep it professional.
Yeah.
And that's just what I do. But
Mhm.
people are intimidated when you're a woman, especially girlfriends, wives, babies, moms, whoever it is. I've gotten a lot of um, shit from other girls just
Mhm.
from being in the business. And also, not just from the girls, guys will try to manipulate you, persuade you, intimidate you in
Mhm.
all types of different ways. Like it's tough. It's really hard to be a woman,
Mhm.
and you do catch a lot of that bullying type of behavior from people,
Yeah.
and you have to be strong. So what I will say to people that are being bullied or feel like they're being bullied, tell somebody, talk about it. Don't be afraid to
Mhm.
stand up for yourself. You know, it's hard and it's scary
Yeah.
and it's hurtful a lot sometimes, but you can get past that. You can get past that. Just make sure that you talk to somebody about it. Make
Right.
sure people are aware of what's happening, because if you don't, there's no way to help you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So just be positive, be strong, be smart. If you feel uncomfortable, let somebody know. And there are people out here that will help you. And there's people out here that have been through that same struggle.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's interesting because I was thinking about that, and when I listen to you talking, this is just I we've never like personally hung out or anything like that, so I
Right.
don't know you, but I'm a very observant person, and I think I'm a pretty good. Uh, I'm okay at reading people's minds and their what's
Yeah.
kind of their flavor, whatnot, and like and I'm just thinking back when we met, like I'm such a friendly dude. Like one of the things about me is I say what's up to everybody. I'm like you, but I'm an old school you. Like I had a lot of people that used to when I used to do music back in the day. It was like I couldn't go a place without people knowing me. My daughters used to always say that to dad. We can't go nowhere without you knowing somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My daughters will tell you that all day long. And when I seen you, I was like, man, I really should go up and say hello because we've had conversations before, whether it was on Facebook, even MySpace back in the
Yeah.
day. Like we've
Yeah.
had
That's where I
conversations.
started on MySpace, for
Yes,
sure.
I remember. I'm saying we had conversations before. I'm
Yeah.
saying. And so that's why I was like, yo, I should go introduce myself, say hello. And I could kind of feel like you always have to be on guard because you never know who it is that's going to run up on you. It could be
Yeah.
somebody that you've talked to online that may not have liked what you had to say, or it could be a huge fan. You just never know. And when you talk to me, I kind of feel like, okay, she's got her guard up. She's
Yeah.
got her guard up. And you know, and I get it. And I get it. It's probably from dealing with this type of thing, you know, as long as you've been doing it.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it has to be that way, but you got bad people everywhere we go in this world. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I'm single, I'm a woman, I'm
Yeah.
out in public,
Yeah.
I'm known for who I am. I
Yeah.
don't know who likes me or doesn't like me,
Right.
half the time. But the thing is like I said, for anybody out there, just be strong, make sure you
Yeah.
talk to people, and be careful.
And I think I asked you this question. I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, but have you always been about hip hop? You personally, like,
I have, yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I
cool.
mean, it wasn't always about independent hip hop, but I grew up listening to hip hop music. I grew up
Yeah.
listening to a lot. My mom listened to different music for a period of time. My sister listened to different music, but for the most part, it's always been hip hop.
Mhm.
I didn't really get into the independent stuff until I started dating somebody, and I ended up
Mhm.
being with them for a long time. We're
Yeah.
not together anymore, but
Right.
it was good music, and I learned a lot, and
Mhm.
it just set that path for me. But what I will say is, I've always been into radio.
Yeah.
When I was in middle school, I did a program at PLU,
Mhm.
and it was a radio program, and we would go over there, and we would be able to talk on the mic, and it was way different. It was actually like, it wasn't MP3s. I mean, I was a kid when I was doing
Yeah.
this, so it was actually really cool, and I loved it, and it just kind of, I guess things just fall into place. I ended
Yeah.
up dating somebody who did music. I ended up putting it on the internet, and I ended up doing a podcast and owning a radio station.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of
So
all worked out.
yeah, for sure. So I know this is probably gonna be a really, really tough question for you, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Like, who is one of the the people that you met, that local artists, that was one of the most passionate, nicest people that you ever met, that you can think of off top?
It is a tough question, but it's easy for me to answer. Um, I'm gonna say Jordy Sam. He's
Okay.
out of Bremerton. He's a producer, a songwriter, a rapper, a singer. He plays the drums. He goes to church. He's
Wow.
consistent. He's doing really good stuff. But I will say, there are many other people. I'm going to
Yeah.
name Lady P. She's out of Seattle. I'm
Yeah.
going to name Outrageous. I've known him forever. He's
Okay.
dope as fuck, doing a lot of different stuff. I don't know if I can cuss, sorry, but he's doing a lot of stuff. Um, there's a lot of really good. Rocky Sandoval, he's doing really great. There's a lot of people. I hate to just pick people because I know people are
Yeah.
going to watch this and be like, she should have said me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a lot of really good, there's a lot of talent coming out of our city and
Mhm.
our region. And I've been around for a lot of it. I've been around and watched it grow,
Yeah.
watched it happen, been there for people, helped them. I can't name everybody, but there is a
Right.
lot more. So if I didn't name you, trust me, I do support you. But
Yeah.
there's so many great people doing music,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
so I mean, just, yeah, that was a hard question because I mean, if
Because
I could name all of you, I
yeah.
would. It would
Yeah.
have been easier if you asked me who sucks. Then I could have told you.
Well,
I'm not going to answer
well,
that question though. I'm not going to answer that question.
wow.
I'll tell them in an email.
We'll talk off record about that one, because I real quick, I just want to say a little side note. Shout out to Rocky. Had his show last night at
It
McMinnon's.
was sold out at McMinimum's, and it was a
I,
great show.
I heard it
Jordy
was
Sam
going
also
down.
performed,
Yes,
so
I heard it was
it was a
going
good show.
down. Yeah,
I
that's my
wasn't able to
dude.
be there because I was working, but
Yeah, same with me. I hit him up a couple days ago. I told him, "Hey, man, I just got the shot. I'm gonna be at home, and then I gotta go back to work. Unfortunately, I don't have any days saved up. But,
Yeah,
bro,
he did
send
reach
me a
out to
shirt."
me. He reached out to me and offered tickets for me to go to the
Yeah,
show, but I knew I couldn't make it.
Rocky's an amazing dude, and I wish him all the best in
Yeah,
his future
same.
endeavors. Everything he's doing great things. But this is about Miss Tac Talk. So let me ask you something. How do you say your last name?
Guilboard.
Guilboard?
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to say it. I was like, I need to ask her before I
It's
go online and try and say it, and I say it all wrong, and then she give me that attitude again, and then the show would be over.
maybe my name should be Miss Attitude.
No, it was, it wasn't even heavy. It was
Yeah,
just
I
like,
was just like,
yeah, and I was like, yeah, that's it, just that side eye, that's it.
but yeah, it's Guilboard, and yeah, it's a
So
tricky one. It gets mispronounced a lot.
how down are you and your sister? Because I see you guys hanging out all the time, doing a lot of cool
She in the
things
background
together.
right now laughing.
She in the background. Tell sister I said hello.
I
You
don't
know,
get on camera, but I look like a scrub today. So, well, every day.
it's
But
all
I'm not
good.
getting on camera.
She
It's
says
all
she's
good,
here, but
sister.
she's not going to get on camera.
No worries.
We are, I would say, best friends.
We're best friends.
We have off and on lived together throughout the years. We have other sisters, but we are the only ones with the same mom, same dad.
Okay.
We grew up together. We're tight as shit.
Right.
We fight, we laugh, we cry. We live together
In one night.
in one night. Yeah, one night.
So how was it? So you say you got other sisters?
I do. I
How
have
was
two sisters in New York and a younger sister that lives here in Tacoma.
was both you guys born here in Washington?
My sister was born in New York, and I
Okay.
was born in Vegas. My dad
Oh
was in
wow.
the Air Force.
Oh okay.
And my little sister was born here, and my other two sisters were born in New York.
Okay. Right on. So when you really started blasting off with Miss Tac Talk was
Mhm.
because I know you say you and your sister started this whole ordeal, right?
Well, I started it, but she was my original host, my co-host. She was my original co-host. She got
Okay.
bars too.
Oh, she got bars.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have to hear some bars. One of these, you know. she checking them out. Let me hear something. You know? No, we can do that later.
Go look at her Facebook. You'll see.
But so how much was she there for you when you really started getting into it? Was she still supporting you 110%?
Yeah, she's always been there for me. She always listens to me, blah 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 about what I'm doing and this and that, and she's always in the background when I'm doing shows, and she's come out with me plenty times to other people's live shows and performances and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so whose live show like did you go to that you would say was probably one of the top live shows you ever been to? Like off top, when you think about all the artists, because I know you've been to so many artists' live shows. You know, who had the best setup? Like
that's crazy.
Who
You're
would I
talking
have
about
to go
years
see?
of seeing shows. I have to think. Sheesh. The best put on show that I ever saw by an artist, a local artist, was probably, and he's not even alive anymore.
What
was Prano the Don? He put on a big show, and it was lit.
Really?
And I remember there were so many artists on that. Mac Hussein performed, like all kinds of people performed at that show. The spot's not even open anymore. The venue's not even open anymore. He's, RIP. But I still play his last album on my radio station. Like he put on a fantastic show. It was great.
Wow. RIP to him. It's sad to hear. So you still doing the music thing a little bit. Still doing it a little.
I'm doing the radio thing. Yep.
So let me ask you, who's somebody that, like, for example, the people that are watching right now, who is someone that we need to be looking out for coming out? Up and coming artists.
I'm gonna say the same thing. It's gonna be Jordy Sam.
Jordy Sam.
He is powerful.
And he's
like
got
I said,
and he's got bars, or is he a singer? Both?
He's a singer-songwriter. I would say he's more pop, but he's young. He makes great beats. He's got good production. He's got good management.
Mhm.
He is like he performed last night with Rocky Sandoval.
Okay.
He's just making. He's gonna make it. I'm in my mind. He's gonna make it.
Okay.
He
Jordy Sam.
just has everything. Like I said, he's young. He has the looks. He has the talent. He produces all his own music. He's
Wow.
producing for, I think, 12 other artists in the Pacific Northwest right now. And he's just, he's good. You guys better watch out. I mean, you don't even have to watch out for him. Just look out for him and support him. Go check him out. He's got good music.
Awesome. That's going to be one that I.
Yeah, he's out of Bremerton, Washington. So
Bremerton.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bremerton. Geez, you never hear about no artists coming from there, but that's cool.
There's a couple of good artists from Bremerton, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
So, what's your take on? Because I told you I was going to ask you about this. What's your take on yesterday's music versus today's music?
I mean, how far are we talking about yesterday?
I mean, like 2000 to 20.
Well, I think that the difference between yesterday's music and today's music is that yesterday's music, I think, was more heartfelt, where today's music is probably more angry.
Really?
I think so.
I never heard of it. I never thought of it that way. More angry.
Yeah, I think music in the past was more about like
having
love
fun
and relationships or hardships. And now it's just like angry. Everybody's angry about everything. But there's a violence and drugs. Where I think back in the day people used to talk about selling drugs or maybe having a family member doing them versus like now people talk about just doing them. And it's a whole different vibe. I mean, life is different now. COVID and just all kinds of different things. Politics are weird. Everything's, on Front Street and people are talking about it. So it's just a little bit more like I'm like angry, people have shit to say.
Yeah.
And then some of it is just crap. Even when people used to rap about being gang members, it was more like emotional. It wasn't as angry, there's just a whole different vibe now.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it. I still enjoy music. Listen to it. Take one song from 2000 and play a song from today. It's going to be totally different.
Right.
Yeah. That's just my take. And we're dealing with emotions from then and we're dealing with anger from now. So.
Yeah. True. It's kind of funny too when you think about it. Everybody's always so angry on every track, talking about
I'm just saying.
people, talking about popping pills and all this stuff. I'm like, what's cool about that? And then everybody's singing it. It's one of the top 10 songs in the radio. It's like, listen to what we're doing, guys. Like, we're really promoting hurting each other and popping pills and doing all these things that we're telling our kids not to do.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. But I mean, I don't know what's going to change it, but
I mean, the only thing that can change it is us. I mean, we have to.
That's facts.
We don't necessarily have to be about that type of music. We don't have to be about that language. We don't have to be about that life.
I mean, you just got to teach love and honesty, and it's okay to be who you are, and it's okay to be a happy person, but a lot of us and a lot of children are going through hardships right now, and their parents are angry, so the kids see that they're angry, and that's probably why a lot of bullying is going on right now.
Yeah.
Families are unhappy right now. It's a hard time right now.
Yeah, this was really something that I was passionate about doing, was speaking about bully prevention, because you know kind of experienced it through my kids. Like,
Yeah,
me personally, I've never been bullied, but to hear um, one of my kids saying that someone doesn't like me because of the color of my skin,
yeah,
it's very it's very, it makes me very upset.
yeah,
And
and that's a bigger issue than just bullying too. And
yeah.
that's another thing that of course, everybody needs to work on. My nephew came home the other day and said some kid was being mean to him at school.
Hmm.
And, we just had to sit down and talk with him about it and let him know, like, hey, you're fine. Like, you're fine. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
You just have to figure out a way to not let it bother you, and don't let him continue to do it. You know what I mean? We're not
Yeah.
saying be mean back or be rude back, but we basically told him to just never mind it.
Right.
You know, don't feed into it. Don't let it be a thing. You know,
Hmm.
um, I know everybody's not good at doing that. You know what I mean? And some stuff can really bother people.
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess you just have to kind of understand that. And like I said it before, you just kind of have to understand that everybody's going through a hard time right now.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, And it's even tough to tell your kids, hey, if somebody's mean to you, maybe they're not happy today. Maybe something's going on in their house. Maybe they didn't have breakfast. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
never know what's going on with other people. So you just kind of have to figure out a way to get by. I mean, that's what everybody's doing right now.
Yeah. It's just it's all about, for me, because of, I have four girls, and three of
Yeah.
them have been bullied at their school. And for
Yeah.
me, whether it was at school, whether it was online on
Yeah.
Facebook bullying, or at the park, playing at the park, my daughter comes running up the stairs, Dad, this kid is bullying me at the park. And this was years ago, and when I was still kind of on the opposite side of where I'm at today. Uh,
Yeah.
I went down to the park and I talked to that kid. I said, "Hey, you messing with my daughter?" I was like, "Don't do it again."
Yeah.
But even with saying that, you could get yourself in a situation where parents start fighting and whatnot. So
Well, I think, just teaching your kids to have confidence and letting them know, that does who cares what people say about you? You know what I mean? But it's deeper than that, and I know it's deep. For a lot of people, it's a big struggle, and some kids are really having a hard time with that. But
yeah,
I will go back to saying, just make sure you tell somebody, talk to somebody about it. Um, don't get bullied in silence. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because
yeah,
you can really cause some damage for yourself.
right.
But
Hmm.
we just got to teach kindness and happiness and love to people, and maybe one day it'll be
Yeah,
different. It's
yeah.
easy to say that. It's easy to say that, but I know it's a big struggle.
Oh,
And especially when it comes to racism and bullying and
mhm,
different things like that.
yeah,
Um, you just got to deal with your children the best that you know how to do it.
that's
You know
it.
what I mean? And just teach them strength, whatever
That's
type of
it.
strength it is that you can give them.
Hmm.
Just do that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because racism isn't going to stop.
No.
People are going to continue teaching their children to be this way because this is the way that they were brought up, and their parents were brought up the same way. Some households will always be racist.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And then there's a lot of stupidity and ignorance and all kinds of different things that, I mean, it's a whole thing,
Yeah.
So we just got to do it one kid at a time, one household at a time,
Yes.
one person at a time, whatever we can do, to end it, or
speak on it, girl.
or
Tell
make
us
it
about
better.
it.
However we can do it, do it.
Yeah. So what's going on? What's going on in the future? What you got planned for 2022? You gonna get back on the radio and put together a big show for us to come and hang out at?
2022, I hope to do a music festival.
Oh, really?
A pretty
Wow.
big one. Yeah. And I have some people that are interested in doing it with me. So that is something to look forward to. I also hopefully
Did I force the cat out the bag? Because I know you was like
no, but I will say this. I am planning on getting a studio for multiple purpose reasons. Podcasts, a place for people to go do a podcast,
Yeah.
photography, even like listening parties, private parties, album release parties, things like that. So
Nice.
that will be something to look forward to as well. And that'll be pretty exciting for me, but for a lot of other people as well.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for what you have going on, and I do appreciate you for being a part of Circle Talk today. You've done a lot, and I'm sure there's many people that have watched this or will watch this that will appreciate, hearing you speak about, your knowledge in the music biz and everything that you have done in bully prevention.
Yeah.
Well, that's an important subject, and you said some things that people need to hear. So
yeah, and as far as music goes, I will tell people just make sure to be yourself. Follow what you want to do.
Yeah.
And promotion is a big thing when it comes to being an independent artist. A lot of people don't want to pay for promotion. A lot of people don't want to do certain things, but it's important as far as your career goes. So you got to invest in yourself, and you got to be confident in yourself, and you have to make sure that the people that you're around are there for a good reason and not to take advantage of you or, don't be a meal ticket for people.
Absolutely.
Don't let people ride on your wave. Do your thing. Do it well.
Yeah.
And be strong in what you're going to do. The music business is scandalous. It can be crazy.
Yeah.
The industry is crazy. There's a lot of people out here doing stuff that,
doing too much.
Yeah, they're doing a little too much. And you don't have to do that. You can just simply find somebody to work with, and you'd be surprised what happens.
So if anybody wanted to get in contact with you and just have a conversation with you, how would they go about doing that? Because
I suggest that everybody emails me. It's tracktalkmusic@gmail.com. You can submit your music there. Put your EPK in there. Please, if you send me music, make sure it's an MP3. And always add a picture, something for me to look at so I can see who I'm listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
another piece of advice for people is anytime you post something, make sure you hashtag your own name.
There it is. Absolutely.
Hashtag your own name and put your website every time you post something.
All right. So where's Sister at? I'm ready to hear this rap. No.
Doing that today, player.
No, I'm just kidding. I do appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for the conversation. So let me ask one more question before I get out, and then I'll let you have your rest of the day. You working today?
I do. I work at 4:00.
4:00. That's good. I gotta be there at 2. But yeah, it is what it is.
I requested but I don't think they're gonna give it to me.
What'd you say?
I requested the day off, but I don't think they're gonna give it to me.
Oh yeah. It's if they ain't gave it to you yet, most likely you in.
They're like
you gotta,
Friday evening. You want Friday evening off?
you're gonna go to work and then they're gonna say, you got the day off.
I'm gonna be like, bye, peace. I only work. I work like 1 minute from where I live. 1 minute from where I work. Shit.
Oh, that's cool. Shoot,
I'll go right back home.
Man, I work an hour away from my house.
Ugh.
It is what it is.
Tragic.
You got to do what you got to do to pay the bills. You feel me?
I feel like
I'm okay where I'm at though.
All right, hit me with this last question. Let me hear it.
You know, I had a question, but I forgot. You make me nervous, young lady.
Oh man.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't remember my question. I really
have notes.
I just spaced out. I don't have no notes. I usually just go off top.
Okay.
You know, I'm just an off top type of guy. I mean, if it's like necessary, then I do them. But I figure, you know, I know you a little bit. I've seen you around. It's easy. It's easy to do an hour conversation with somebody, and you know, you just got to know the bullets and hit those bullets. You feel me? That's how I do it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on the question. Maybe I'll ask it off camera.
Okay.
Well,
I want to give a big shout out to you and Circle Talk.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah.
And like I said, if anybody wants to submit music, it's tracktalkmusic@gmail.com. Track like the track on a CD. Yeah. Tracktalkmusic@gmail.com.
I think I'm gonna submit a song to you because I got plenty of songs, man. You gotta hear me. I get down too.
How are you gonna interview me and not even send me a song to talk about? You should have sent me a song to talk about.
Oh yeah, I don't have any like songs like. I don't have any songs like on EPK or anything like that yet.
Okay, well, we'll work on it. Okay,
I'll send you a little video of me singing or something. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm a singer though. I don't rap. I'm a singer. I've always been a singer, so I'm
okay.
R&B cat.
Well, sing right now. Oh, sorry.
She said, "Sing right now."
I hear you in the background. You rap right now. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're not going to do this right now.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We gonna close up shop because it's been a great interview and we getting a little wild and crazy right now. We turning up. It's Friday. That's what we do on Fridays.
It's Friday.
That's right. Turn up.
But yeah, thank you so much, Ms. TAC Talk.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me on Circle Talk.
Hopefully we hang out. Like I would love to hang out with you and your sis. You know, us go out and throw some darts. I'll make sure that the soft tips, you know, because I remember when you guys were throwing darts, like a couple of them missed the board. I'm not saying
ones now, so it's dangerous.
Me and you was on teams. Remember, you was on my team, and you threw a dart and almost put somebody's eye out.
I mean,
it was an accident.
Almost isn't good enough.
It was an accident, you know. Everybody was turning up, you know. It was what it was, but
we won't say where we were at.
No, no need to talk about where we at. We was just hanging out, throwing darts. That's it. We was throwing darts.
Oh,
doing what we do.
Well, she came close to me. I'm like, oh, don't you do it.
Yeah, but we'll I'm gonna go ahead and close up shop, guys.
Again, sometime, and we'll talk about music.
Yes, we will. We will have a in-depth conversation about music because you know I could talk music all day long. I mean,
yeah,
you know, that's my passion, just like it is yours. So, you know, we would go heavy on it. So, but hey, let's do it again. We'll do it again real soon.
Definitely. Thank you for having me on Circle Talk. It's been wonderful. I appreciate your respect and love, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Hey, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening in. This is Circle Talk. It's your boy, DH. Thank you guys so much. Thank you again, Ms. TAC Talk. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes.
Y'all take care. I'll see you guys next week. All right.
Be kind to people. Teach people to be kind.
Hey, be kind. Yes, good one. Be kind, y'all. Take care. Peace.